I'm John Biggs with CoinDesk. I'm here with John Egan, founder of Editional. You have a new app out. I want you to tell us what Editional is and tell us about the app.
Yeah, definitely. So Editional is the first mobile application for anyone to create, claim, or collect digital collectibles. We sort of work as a very simple pop it open, take a picture, upload a piece of digital artwork. You get to define the number of editions that will be created and are then distributed out for anyone who's following you or just using the app and browsing the feed to be able to claim your collectible and eventually use it elsewhere on the blockchain if they'd like to, or just keep it and trade it in the future with other people.
So this would be sort of I guess it's art on the blockchain, but it's digital art as well. So it would be infinitely copyable, but because it's on the blockchain, it isn't?
Right, because we're based on NFT technology. Rather than just having a photo put up like you'd get on a Twitter or an Instagram. You actually have a digital ownership record that's written down to the blockchain, in our case, the Ethereum blockchain. And what's cool about it is it's a standard. It's the ERC 721 standard, and that means that that ownership record is respected by every other application on the blockchain that reads NFTs. OpenSea for doing things like trading. There are a couple of other digital arts groups out there. Jake Brookman just put together First Edition Art, which is another place that's starting to collect these pieces of artwork. And so the more it's respected, the more value there is given to those collectibles.
Okay, so I mean, I don't want to poke a hole in the whole system, but if I just took a screenshot, right, I could feasibly copy it. I just don't want to tell. Maybe you should tell your guys that. Yeah,
so you can get a visual copy, right? Just like you can go to the Louvre and get a visual copy of the Mona Lisa, right? And it's not really the real thing. It's not the original. And historically, the proof of that was a file at a museum, right? Or like a plaque next to something, or an artist's signature, or the borders of the painting not being known. In the digital world, what the NFT lets us do is store that information on sort of this worldwide unassailable record within the Ethereum blockchain. And your screenshot would never be able to be authenticated as real. And that doesn't mean much today, right? Because you sit there and have your screenshot and someone else sits there and has their NFT. But what's cool is that authentication is free. So anyone who wants to go and authenticate your ownership and do something with that ownership record can do it. For example, if you were an artist and you wanted to give people access to an opening in New York and said, you can only come into this opening if you actually own a piece of art that I've created. At the door, you can authenticate on people's mobile devices that they actually do own that piece of art. And you show up with an item in your photo roll, and that authentication will fail. I show up with a copy in Editional, and I can prove that authentication.
So this is interesting. So is the goal here for a more generalized art world? Is it for the Mona Lisas of the world, or is it for almost anything? Is it for like a stock photography, that sort of thing?
I think it's like a canvas, right? Like a canvas is good for Picasso, and a canvas is good for someone who walked down to Blick the other day and got excited about Bob Ross. Like, we have to have the technology accessible to everyone. And once we do that, we'll better understand the best use cases. I don't think it's the same as the influencers we see on existing social media. I don't think it's life blogging. I've just sort of watched over the last couple of days since we went live, and people take selfies of themselves, and no one really claims them. It's not that exciting, right? But people go and put work into creating original pieces. And it's it's easier to understand the scarcity and excitement around owning something like that.
And has anybody bought anything yet?
Yeah, so we had one item created the other day where everything's free on Editional. So someone else claimed that item and then took it over to OpenSea and put it for sale, and it sold within a couple of hours for $300. So literally went from had an idea, created a piece of digital artwork, tokenized it, sold it for $300 in the span of maybe 10 hours. And most of that time was just with it sitting on the blockchain, not with work being put in. And I think that's what we have to do with these kinds of applications. We let anyone go in there and create, and the market will teach us very quickly like what is and isn't valuable, and then we can build more and more to help enable people to take advantage of those.
All right, why don't you give us a quick tour of the app?
Great, so this is Editional. This is the feed where you land initially, and you can see all of these different collectibles that people are creating. And there's this button here, claim, if you don't already own it, and the number that are left. So if I wanted to take ownership of this collectible, I can click claim, it'll send out a request. And if there's other people, I'm competing with them to get it. And then in a second or two, it'll pop back and tell me you've successfully claimed it, or it'll tell me too bad you didn't pull it off. I can also create, there's this create button right here. And John, if we wanted to put you on the blockchain right now. There you are.
You want to grab it? Is that me? Yeah, there we go.
So I can say John Biggs. I'm going to put you on Editional.
Put me on the blockchain. I'm ready to go.
There it goes. So this goes out and it'll mint onto the blockchain. There you are. And you've been claimed by one other person so far. People are rushing in to get a copy of John. And then if you want to, you can come in here and you can see all the things that you've already claimed. So this is my collection, basically my digital collection. And what's fun about this is the digital collection is actually portable. So I can take it here with this globe button to our other application partners, guys like OpenSea, and put it up for sale so that other people can purchase it from me if they'd like. And those sales and listings are also represented here in the feed to show everyone else. So for example, John here just sent me a CryptoKitty, which isn't something that we created, but it gets represented back here as a supported platform partner.
Again, what's the name of the app? Where should people find it?
The app is Editional, with an E, Editional.
Additional? Okay.
It's
Editional.
at editional.com.
Okay.
It's on Twitter at Editional App, and it's on the App Store as Editional.
All right, I want to make some amazing photos and put them up there, and you're going to buy them from me, right?
Yes, no
All right.
problem.
Perfect. Thanks for watching.